And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
I am a real American.
Good morning, everybody. It's CSAP, your Common Sense American Patriot, here with your Common Sense Politics show. Today, it's a Good Friday. It's going into the weekend. The fair is in town. I will be at the fair booth Monday through Friday, 8:30 p.m. to closing. So if anybody would like to come down and say hi, register to vote, or just talk politics, I will be here at my local fair here at the Antelope Valley Fair from 8:30 p.m. to closing time next week, Monday through Friday. So I hope to see everybody there at the fair, everybody who's a local to me here in the Antelope Valley. That's where I'm from. And I hope to see you guys all at the fair today. So today I've got quite a few stories. Yesterday was an interesting day in news and politics. Again, like every day, the news cycle it's just incredibly fast now. So it's hard to keep up on everything that's going on. So I'm going to go into a few of these things today. I've got a kind of a fun little part at the end I'm going to laugh at. I've got a little, not comedy, but I enjoy memes. I enjoy having a little comedic part to it. You need to have a little bit of little joking in politics because you can't be serious all the time. And humor brings attention to things that sometimes people wouldn't normally pay attention to. So sometimes you got to use a little humor to get your reach a little bit farther so people can see exactly what's going on, because a lot of people don't like politics. It's it's very divisive, especially right now. I mean, it's always been kind of taboo to talk politics, but especially bad now. So using humor helps reach people that it normally wouldn't reach, and so I'm going to go into that a little bit. So the first story of the day that I am going to get into is Israel's ban of Omar and Tlaib is a grave misstep, according to this opinion writer from the Washington Post. I don't think it's a misstep at all. Why would I want to bring anybody into my house, right? Essentially, Israel, that's their country. Why would you want somebody to come into your home that has disparaged you, talked about how much they despise you, they hate you, you're an oppressor? They've said nothing but terrible things about Israel. So if there was somebody talking terrible things about me in my life, that I'm a terrible person and blah, 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 would I want them to come into my home? Nope. Sorry, you can stay outside. You're not coming into my house. And that's what Israel did. Why should Israel let anybody into their country that doesn't like their country? Does that ring a kind of a funny bell about here in America? If you don't like America, leave. You don't got to stay here. There's a big wide world out there. You can go live anywhere you want, especially Venezuela. They are the prime example of socialism. So if you really love socialism and hate capitalism, that's probably the first place you should go. So I don't understand. There's been a big uproar. My local representative here, who I can't stand, has been out there trying to defend Omar and Tlaib and saying they should be allowed to go to Israel. No, why? Israel's their own country. They can allow whoever they want into their country, and they're not going to allow two loudmouths that don't like them, that openly hate Israel, anti-Semites, into their country. I wouldn't either. Why do I want troublemakers in my country? So good for Israel. I'm glad you banned them. We have the First Amendment here in America, and guess what? They have consequences. So when you come out and say you dislike this country and you don't like Jewish people, for the most part, yeah, you're not going to be allowed to go in their country. So enjoy your First Amendment rights, and this is the backlash you're going to get. So here's kind of a nice little tweet from David Harris. So Israel faced tough choice. Anti-Israel bashers, Omar and Tlaib, planned Israel West Bank trip. They wanted no meetings with any Israeli leaders or mainstream voices. Still, Israel should have taken the high road and let these members of Congress in, no matter how vile their views. Okay, I am going to wholeheartedly disagree with that. I'm so sick and tired of hearing, we need to take the high road. We need to take the high road. We're better than that. We're better than this. Yeah, we need to have our morals and principles, but forget that. I'm not, they're disparaging my family and myself. I'm going to take the high road and let them in my house. Hell no. Goodbye. You're not coming into my house. I'm so tired of this white knight high road nonsense that people talk about. No, no matter how vile their views are, no, you're not going to come here. Sorry, you don't like us. I don't want you here. There's the difference between having principles and morals and values and taking a high road. That's just idiotic. No, I'm not allowing you into my house because you don't like me. So I'm not going to allow you into the house. Same thing with Israel. You don't like us. We're not going to allow you in there. So this whole high road nonsense, forget that. Stand your ground, stand in your beliefs, stand in your morals, stand in your principles. Just like religious people, they're trying to really get on religious people. That's their religious views. So they're always being bashed for, their religious view tells them that being gay, being a homosexual is a sin. That's their view. Stand on those principles. Religious people, Christians out there, stand on those beliefs. Those are your beliefs. Stand by it. Don't take the high road on that. That's your belief. That's your principle. Stand by it. Now, do you have to bash homosexuality, hate gay people? No, you don't have to do that, but you can still have your morals and values that you believe it's a sin. That's going to be between them and God, right? So let them live their lives. You live your lives, but stand on your morals and stand on your principles. You don't have to sit there and be okay with it. That's your religious view. That's your right. I'm so tired of this high road stuff of you're not supposed to believe one way, or you got to sit there and move a different direction because of this. So I'm gonna segue that into a picture here that's just absolutely crazy. So now we're gonna go into that, and I'm gonna segue into this right here. So this is going around for trans rights campaign. Okay, fight bigotry. 98% of straight men are unwilling to date trans women because of hatred. This has to change. This is the most asinine thing I've ever seen in my life. Again, it goes back to standing on your principles and your values. So my principles are libertarian type principles. As long as you're not bothering me or anybody else, I don't really care what you do in this country. Do whatever you want in your own home. It doesn't bother me. That's why I've said many times, LGB, I don't care. That's fine. You do whatever you want with your life, and that's going to be between. So for my religious views, that's going to be between you and God, in my opinion. But as for I don't care. You can do whatever you want. That doesn't bother me at all. I have many gay friends, and they're fine. They're fine people. They're normal, decent people. Well, it's not my job to judge them. That'll be between my religious views and God. So, but when we get into transgender, like I said, so LGB doesn't bother me at all. Enjoy your lives. I have no problem with it whatsoever. But when you get into the transgender, and this is where, just back to this meme again, this is where we have problems. Okay, you're gonna call me a bigot because 98% of straight men, I am a straight man, are unwilling to date a trans woman. You're not a woman. Sorry, you are a man. So just because your name is Tom and you want me to call you Tammy, that doesn't fly for me. That's why 98%, and I believe it's higher, it's probably like 99.5% of straight men, listen, it's in our human genes to want to reproduce in this world. That's how we are where we are today, is by having children, reproducing. So it's not, listen, again, that bothers me. That affects my life. Men who are trying to be women now want to play in women's sports and dominate women's teams. That's what bothers me. You're affecting other people's lives. You're destroying women's lives who have gone and trained and done everything they can. Like, let's pick the running, for example, because there's been a lot of stories about that these men are transitioning to women and running in women's sports and crushing the competition. You're ruining these they've worked their whole lives to try to get scholarships to college, try to get into all these programs, and now you've come in as a man and ran as a woman, and you've destroyed these records, you're beating them, and now they lose their scholarship chances to get into these colleges. So this is where it stops for me. LGB, you don't bother anybody else, you do whatever you want to do, and that's fine. But when you get into the trans, you're wanting surgeries that cost taxpayer money, that's affecting me. You're running in women's sports and you're doing women's sporting events. You're affecting their lives by doing this. You are a woman, you are a man trying to go into women's restrooms. that is a problem. That is affecting other people. So that's where I stand. When you're this whole transition silliness, you are affecting other people's lives with this, and that's why I have a problem with it. So that's why I am openly against transgender, and I do believe what the studies say, that it is a mental, what is it, a dysphoria, or sexual dysphoria or something like that. I believe that, and you affect other people with this way of life, and that's why I have a problem with it. I don't want men going in women's restrooms. I don't want men competing in women's sports. And I don't want to pay for your surgeries. This is craziness. So that's where it ends for me on the transgender. So let's move on to the next story I got. So here we go. Trump. This is what I've been talking about, and this is kind of a segue for the last thing I was just talking about. I believe transgender is sexual dysphoria, or whatever the exact terminology is for it. Trump suggests opening more mental institutions to deal with mass shootings. This is what I've been preaching about since I've started my podcast here. But this is what we need in America. You know, we've stopped having these mental institutions. We got rid of them in the early, like 60s, 70s, and Reagan really shut them down in the 80s. And it's kind of been a taboo subject. Nobody wants to talk about mental health here in America. And like I've said and shown statistics in other shows and podcasts here, that 22% of the homeless are mentally ill. Hospitals and jail are not for the homeless. I read an article the other day that here in LA County at the Men's Central Jail, 33% of the inmates are mentally ill patients and don't really belong in jail setting. They need to be in a mental health institute and getting the help they need. This is a big, big problem in America. It needs to stop being a taboo subject. It needs to be out there in the open, talked about. People need the help. We need help. In another statistic I even pulled up the other day, when you have something like, out of the people being helped, 1 in 5 are still not fully where they want to be when it comes to mental health. That Americans that are already receiving treatment, 9 million Americans still don't feel where they need to be. That's 9 million Americans being treated. So imagine how many that aren't being treated, that are fully just not in control. They're going insane in their own minds. So we need more mental health institutions. We need more therapy. And I'm not talking about, I know people have brought up, you want to push pharmaceuticals on people. No, I don't want to push pharmaceuticals. I don't like the pharmaceutical companies at all. But we need people. There's so many other ways now. Counseling, psychologists, coming up with game plans, doing things, just talking to people. Sometimes people just need somebody to talk to. They don't have anybody to talk to. I mean, I used to work as an EMT. I bumped my mic there. Hopefully it wasn't a big bang there. Sorry about that, guys. But I used to work as an EMT, and we used to call them, especially during the holidays, we'd get these people that would call just because they're lonely and they want to talk to somebody. We need institutes for that. When we take them to the hospital, that's not the place for them. The ER is not equipped to just hang out and talk to somebody who's lonely, but they need that help. We need help here in America. A lot of it could be just talking to somebody. But if we don't have the facilities to talk to anybody, it's not easy. I know, like, I've been married for 12 years. I was talking about this yesterday on my podcast. And it's an up and down. It's a struggle. It's a fight. But you got to continue to fight. I know we've tried to get counseling sometimes, and it's damn near impossible to find a counselor. They're booked up to the T, and you can't get in. We need more help. Sometimes people just need to talk. And so it's not just throw people on drugs. Some people may need medication. Some people may need some extra medication or whatever they need to help them out. But I'm not suggesting that's what we do. We don't just throw people up in padded rooms and dope them up. I'm talking about the full spectrum of helping people out in the mental field. And Trump really hit it on the head here. So Trump said, we are going to be looking at that very closely when we're looking at the whole gun situation. I do want people to remember the words mental illness. These people are mentally ill, and nobody talks about that. But these are mentally ill people, and people have to start talking about it. Exactly. And so the next part right here. I think we have to start building institutions again because, if we look at the 60s and 70s, so many of these institutions were closed and the people were just allowed to go onto the streets. And that was a terrible thing for our country. A lot of our conversation has to do with the fact that we have to open up institutions. We can't let these people on the streets. So that was Trump there. And I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, like I said, 22% of the homeless population is mentally ill. Something 66% are drug addicts, some kind of addicts. And so you're talking about 88% of the homeless population is one or the other or a combination of both. We need help. Help. We need help. So I agree with Trump, and I hope we do start opening up some kind of mental institutions, mental health centers, mental health altogether. We need people to be out there, and we need people to see these things. So moving on to the next article here that I'm going to go over. We are at Portland. Portland is going to have a big rally here tomorrow. How Portland's liberal utopia has become the center of a right-wing war in the U.S. And, these rallies, I support them. I agree. I've been to some of these. I haven't been to the crazy Portland. I didn't go to Berkeley, but I've been to some down here in L.A., and they get a little rowdy. They get a little crazy. But Portland's just a whole nother thing, and I think the reason it's such a magnet is because of what has gone on in Portland. I mean, the mayor has pretty much given the police stand down orders, so it's turned into just absolute complete chaos up there. And I agree with why they're going up there. So the people on the right go up there because they're trying to show that free speech is dead in Portland. They get their permits, they get all their permits and everything to do these speeches, and then they've been allowed to come in these areas and have their demonstration, their free speech, their right to assemble. And then you got Antifa that comes in and just mows them over, and lawlessness, and everything just breaks down from there. I mean, I don't know how many times these Antifa have been arrested with weapons, sticks of dynamite. I think even one guy was caught with all kinds of weapons, pepper spray, bear spray, and they attack the peaceful assembly. So that pisses people off. It makes me. I wish I had the chance. I would go up there. I'd be up there tomorrow if I was free and had the time, because I would go up there and stand for the right to assemble, free speech rights, and that's what all these guys are going for. So it's not a right-wing war. People are tired of it. People are tired of. That's the whole thing. It goes back to everybody says, oh, these crazy shooters are all right-wing nut jobs, which the Daytona shooter was actually far left-wing, and the El Paso shooter was all over the place. But when it comes to violence, you can't even wear a MAGA hat outside because you're going to get attacked or harassed. You put an American flag up front of your house and you have a chance of it being ripped off your house and vandalized. You put out a Trump lawn sign, and they rip them out. There's videos over and over and over and over again of left-wing people attacking right-wing people. If you wear a MAGA hat, you're going to get attacked for the most part, verbally or possibly physically. These people are crazy, and I think that's what provokes the right to go out there and gather up and do that. It's kind of protection in numbers. So I agree with why they go out there and do this. I would prefer that we did rallies. If we're going to do rallies, we need to do them better, and we need to think about things a little differently. Like I mentioned some people here locally, like if we do some rallies, what we need to do is it's like an undercover rally where, like, let's go to a park and let's just have a conservative get together picnic at the park. Well, at the park, we put up a bunch of Trump flags, a bunch of American flags, and it's right by a local freeway here, so we'll have flags out, we'll have Trump things out. So we're rallying, but we're really networking. We're having a picnic at the park. We're letting our kids come play. We're all meeting each other and something like that. Or do like a food drive. So instead of just standing on a corner with flags and just hooting and hollering, why not do a food drive? Do some kind of food drive for the homeless or for a homeless shelter in your local area. And while you're doing that, You have Trump flags up and American flags up. So you're showing that you're actually out there doing something. You're doing something good for the community as a conservative instead of just standing out there and waving a flag. So I get it. But I think if you changed it, you could do a lot more. Like Scott, I can't remember his name, the guy who did the Baltimore cleanup. Great idea. You're doing something impactful, and it's kind of like a rally. You had 200 conservatives, patriots, go out to Baltimore to clean up, I think it was like 12 tons of trash they cleaned up. That's what I'm talking about. That's going to get more of a message out there than going into Portland and provoking. You're swatting the hornet's nest when you do that. You're going into ultra liberal Portland to hold a rally. You know it's going to be a mess, but I get it. I get why they're doing it. I understand. I would stand with those guys out there. If I could drive to Portland and had the time off work and didn't have my family, I'd go up there to Portland and stand there and show you that we are not the violent ones, that the left is going to come and attack us and be the violent ones. Essentially, that's the whole play here, is that they're going out there to show their free speech, and typical, because Portland mayor tells the police to be on stand-down orders and let Antifa just do whatever they want, it turns into a mess. But if you really want to talk about the violence comes from the left all day, every day. And that's what they want. They want normal patriots to not feel. You can't even wear a MAGA hat. That's the epitome of it. You cannot wear a MAGA hat in this country because you will be verbally assaulted, if not violently assaulted. And that's what the left wants. The left wants to push conservatives down into a little bubble and shoo you out and be scared to talk about it, be scared to support your president, be scared to even be a conservative. Like I mentioned in one of my first podcasts, you can't even be like a moderate right. You know, they talk about there's moderate left and then there's the far left. You know, we got Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren are far left progressives. And then you've got Joe Biden, he is a moderate. He's an Obama moderate Democrat. But you can't be a moderate on the right. You're either some far white nationalist crazy wacko, or you're not. And that's the problem. That's what I think a lot of people are who aren't conservatives. They register as Democrats. I think a lot of them actually are conservative, but God forbid they say they are conservative, because it's just, that's what the media has done and that's what everybody else has done. They have conservative values, but they'll never say it. They actually are the moderate right, but they will never ever say that they are conservative and they're moderate right, because that's what the media has done. They make it just, everybody who's a conservative is a racist, a bigot. It just goes on, a fascist. It goes on and on and on and on. So being a conservative, you're just this evil, evil person, which is the farthest thing, which is crazy, because like I was talking yesterday about the recession. I don't want a recession. I want every America to succeed. I want people to earn more money. I want businesses to bloom, people to get jobs, people to go out there. But then you have the people on the left that are like, I hope we go into a recession because I hate Trump. So you want millions of Americans to lose everything just because you hate Trump. I don't get it. That's what I don't get. They call conservatives the violent, the racist, the hateful ones, when the left over here is the ones that want people to lose their jobs, their livelihoods, their houses, their retirements. I don't get it, America. We need to wake up. We need to really wake up. We need to quit the branding. Just really look through it. Look through the smoke. Look through the smoke and mirrors and really look. A lot of you guys that are in the middle, independents, or even leading left, you have a lot of conservative values. You just won't consider yourself a conservative just because of the labels. Get rid of the labels. Don't let the labels scare you. Believe in what you believe in. That's what I was saying in the beginning of the show. Believe in what you believe in. This whole high road, that's why you won't call yourself a conservative, because I got to take the high road. I can't join up with those red hat Nazis over there. Nobody over here is a Nazi. I am not a Nazi. I'm not some crazy white nationalist. Am I white? Yes. I like being white. If I was a Hispanic, I'm sure I'd like being Hispanic. If I was black, I would like being black. There's nothing wrong with that. I like who I am as a person. There's nothing wrong with that. And then a nationalist, I love my country. What's wrong with that? But you put those two things together. Well, first of all, you say you like being white. You're in a whole lot of trouble. And then saying you're a nationalist, I love this country. There's nothing wrong with me being white and a nationalist. I'm a white American. That's what I am. So get rid of nationalists. I'm a white American. I love this country. I'm sorry. Not sorry. That's what's so silly. Like, those are two different. So because I like myself, oh God, you like yourself? You're a white male. Yes, I like myself. There's nothing wrong with liking myself. And yes, I love this country. So yes, I'm a nationalist. I love my country. I'm American. I love being an American. But those two things are, you can't say that. Why not? I love this country and I love myself. I hope everybody out there loves themselves. I hope you love this country. And if you don't, leave. You don't got to stay here. That's what's so crazy. So that's why you can't even be a moderate conservative, because there is no moderate conservative. That's what the mainstream media has totally portrayed, is that if you are a conservative, you're just an absolute crazy wacko that wants to shoot up this country, and you're a gun-toting redneck that's just absolutely crazy. A lot of you guys that lean left, that's what you say, you lean left, you're actually really conservative, but you just won't say it, and you won't vote that way. And it's a shame, because that's what you really are. But get rid of the words. Don't let the wording fool you. Vote your conscience. I'm telling you, you guys, a lot of people, I talk to so many people that consider themselves Democrats. They hate taxes. They hate how big the government has gone. But they'll never consider themselves conservative, and they'll never vote conservative just because what the media has done and all the crazy things. It's just so silly. I just wish people would start opening their eyes. Think for themselves. Just think for yourself. Take the label off. Okay, don't say you're a conservative, but vote for who you like the best. Vote for the policies you like the best. Don't just vote based on, the Democrat Party or your union or this or that is telling you need to vote this way. If you don't like big government and you don't like taxes, don't vote for tax increases. But if a conservative says, whoa, we don't want taxes, no, vote no on that. But because that's conservative saying that, you'll automatically vote for higher taxes. Vote what you want. Start thinking on your own. Listen, just because I like Trump, I am a full-blown Trump supporter. I like him. I think he's the best president we've ever had. I don't always agree with Trump. I'm going to vote with what I like. That's why I voted for Trump, because I didn't like the political realm we were in. I didn't like the Mitt Romneys. I didn't like the George Bushes. I didn't like the John McCain's. They were not my candidate. I didn't like that. But when Trump came along, all right, a guy who's not in the political world. I want to change this. That's why I voted for Trump. That's why I like Trump. He thinks outside the box. He's not doing the normal thing. When you got little rhinos like Paul Ryan telling him like, I just can't stand this guy sometimes. I can't stand you. That's why you got voted out. That's why you had to retire, because people are tired of you. So just vote for yourself. I guess that's the main thing I want. Just be free thinkers. Think on your own. Don't allow the media to sit there and put these things in your head that if you vote conservative or if you vote for an anti-tax measure, you're a fascist, you're a bigot, you're a racist, and it's just silly. Like, I'm an American. I love this country, and I want all Americans to succeed. So moving off, I went on a little bit of a tangent there, but I think it's great points, and it needs to be said. So last thing here, everybody. Mark Kripe for Congress. Here we go. This is my guy. I am voting for this guy. I am backing this candidate here in my local district. So if anybody here, please come to his page. Please like his page. We need all the support we can get. He's in a race. He's in a race for his life. I like his policies and everything he's got to say. I've met with him. I've met with all my congressional candidates out here. There's 4 of them in my district running, and he is one of them. And he has got my 100% support and backing. So please, everybody, if you could just show him a little support, click on like on his page. And if you could, he has some donations down there too. Please donate to his campaign. Every dollar counts. So if you can just donate $5 to his campaign, it'll help a lot. And he's in a primary. We got 4 candidates running, and we'll see who comes out top. Hopefully Mark does, because that's who I am backing, and we will go from there. But either way, at the end of the day, whoever does win, we are going to take out the Democrat that is currently holding the seat. I hope it's Mark. He should win. We're doing a good job here. We're pushing him hard, and we're going to get him to the finish line, and we're going to take out Katie Hill. We're coming for you, Katie. So anyhow, so that was my plug for the day. Go like Mark Kripe for Congress. Donate to his campaign if you could. $5 goes a long way. So if we could get 50 people to donate $5, we will be doing great. Thank you all. I appreciate it. Oh, the memes. I don't have quite enough time. I'll get into the memes maybe next week. No, let me do it really fast. Okay, real quick. I'm going to knock out the memes. So again, like Mark Kripe for Congress. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, so this is what I was talking about by comedy. I'm just going to knock this out pretty quick because I had a lot of people talking about it. But we need to have a little bit of comedy. So I don't know if you guys have seen. So here's the picture. This was found in Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan apartment or mansion or whatever. A picture. This is a picture of Bill Clinton in a blue dress with red heels. These guys are sickos. They are some sick dudes. So here we go. We're going to go on to some more. This is the close-up shot of it. Bill Clinton in a blue dress in heels. So again, these guys are perverts. Jeffrey Epstein, John Podesta, perverts. Okay, right? So here's where the memes start coming in. Now somebody put in good old touchy-feely Joe Biden filling up on Bill Clinton. This is funny stuff. You got to laugh at this. You can't be offended by this. I took it one level further, okay? It's in Jeffrey Epstein's apartment. So I put Jeffrey Epstein putting his hand up Bill Clinton's dress here and the three perverts. You know, I had people tell me this is sick and this is disgusting. It's funny. It's supposed to be a joke. It's supposed to bring attention to these things. Don't get all offended by it. You should be offended by these guys, period. And you should be outcrying all this. So then another meme here. We got Bill Clinton in Obama's lap. Hilarious. And another one. Now we got Joe Biden kissing Obama with Bill Clinton on his lap. So those are the memes. It's supposed to be funny. You guys can't get off. Some people get so bent out of shape. It's funny. It's meant to be humorous to help get it out there to other people that don't really follow politics. They see these memes and they laugh and they go, "What in the heck is this?" And then they read up on it and find out that Bill Clinton was in a blue dress on a painting in Jeffrey Epstein's apartment. Who's Jeffrey Epstein? Oh, Jeffrey Epstein is this pervert who had an island where all these children and underage women were being human trafficked, and he was already a convicted sexual predator. Oh, that's disgusting. And then they start telling their friends. That's how comedy and humor helps bring attention to political things. So that's my rant there. I'm running past my time. Thank you guys. I love you. I will see you Monday. I will be talking on my podcast Monday. And then remember, I will be at the fair, Antelope Valley Fairgrounds, 8:30 p.m. to closing Monday through Friday next week. So come by, say hi. I'd love to talk to you all, and I'd love to get more people registered to vote. I love you guys. I love this country, and I do. I am an American that loves this country. Sorry, not sorry. Talk to you Monday. Bye.